everyone, and welcome to the Let's Ruin It podcast, where we take your favorite pop culture media, put a legal spin on it, and like all lawyers, we ruin it. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jenny. I'm here with my lovely co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Diana.
Hi, I'm Liz.
Today, we are taking our producer Josh's advice. He is our favorite Gen Z expert, and he said we need to do something very current. And so what is more current than
K-pop demon hunters?
Because apparently we stick to movies from like the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
Which, by the way, are great movies.
Amazing movies. And, you know, he's been pushing for us to pick something very current. And we can't think of anything that everyone has watched and loves and that we love that has come out in the last 5 to 10 years, except for K-pop demon hunters.
Which,
I'm not sure what that says about us, but
it says that we have young kids and we continuously watch 90s movies.
Hold on a minute. This is an amazing cinematic masterpiece.
Masterpiece.
I think that this movie hit all the right notes. Pun not intended.
No, it was, what a surprise. Like, we heard about it.
Shocked.
We were like,
shocked.
oh, there's this new movie on Netflix that maybe the kids will like. Let's sit down and watch it.
I thought it looked like the dumbest thing ever. And my daughter was watching it with her friend. And I was like, what are you guys watching? Like, this looks insane. Her mother's going to be so mad at me that I'm letting you watch this nonsense. And then as the day progressed, and then as the weeks progressed, and she continued to watch it over and over and over again, I then obviously watched it with her.
Oh, so we sat down for like a movie night?
It won the Grammy.
But it did not win.
And it won Critics' Choice Award and the Golden Globe Award.
So I was wrong, Josh.
For Best Animated Feature and Best Original Song.
They were snubbed for something.
It's a great song. I don't think it's the best song in the movie.
I think it's up there, but I think everyone has like their own favorite song.
I do too. I mean,
which one's yours?
I like the duet that Rumi and Ginu did, Free.
That's my least favorite one.
I think so too.
Which one's your favorite?
My favorite is How It's Done. Even though it's like the first song that we hear of theirs. They're on the plane.
How It's Done, done.
I mean, I love them all.
I love the beat. I love the whole thing. I love like Napalm Era is like a phrase that now I use. I'm like, I'm in my Napalm era.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's fantastic.
Should we just sing it and then embarrass our 10-year-olds when they watch this?
Yeah. Then he'll be like, I'm not telling anyone about this podcast.
No.
Correct.
But we actually started watching it because we needed a random movie for movie night as a family. And our 6-year-old was like, I heard this is really good. And our then 9-year-old son was like, I'm not watching this. Like, this is a girl movie. I don't want to watch this. And he walks out of the room. We put it on within, I would say, a minute and a half.
She's in.
I just see him like slowly creep back into the room and sit down. Because it like really grasps you right away.
That's actually fantastic.
Honestly, it
all
really
glued
does.
to the screen.
Okay, so I watched it way later than you guys. And you guys are the ones who are like, oh, we're going to watch this. I'm like, oh, good God, fine. I got to watch this thing. I don't have any prepubescent kids at home. Funny thing was, though, my 21-year-old saw it because he loves anime. So this is kind of like right up there. He watches One Piece on Netflix too and all that. He loves all that stuff. So he watched it. He refused to watch it with me, but he said, Mom, you're going to love it. This is like right up your alley. And
you did.
He was right. It grabbed me.
It's perfect for karaoke. The songs are so catchy.
I mean, is it perfect? Because like it requires quite a voice to pull off most of the songs.
Yeah.
It's perfect for me.
For you. Oh, for someone who can hit every note.
Every note.
Of course.
Spectacular.
I'm not going to do it here because that's
You'd be
not
like Mariah Carey.
That's not the purpose of this, for you guys to hear my singing.
And you're welcome.
My favorite song is at the very end. My favorite song is when they defeat all the demons and the shattered glass and all of that. I just love it very much. I think it's like very soulful and very deep, and it has all these deep meanings, and they come back together. I just love it.
I think I like the upbeat ones because I like How It's Done. I like Take Down.
I do too.
I just like those.
I've been playing the soundtrack in my car all week.
Well,
and I'm driving.
Let's get into it.
Going down.
Yeah. I mean, it's so great that even though we're trying to ruin a movie from a legal standpoint, a movie that does not take place in this kind of universe.
Kind of reality.
I mean, again, it absolutely would not be our first time.
And also, like, let's just like start by saying we're gonna speak from the perspective of U.S. attorneys, U.S. laws. We don't know Korean laws. We also don't know laws of the demon world. Right. And so,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Korean laws do not even apply to this.
No, I don't think so.
So
well, maybe when we're talking about
why
like
not? Damage.
music ownership.
Well,
but also property damage. Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't it apply? Let's get it.
Employment
get into
rights.
it. Guys, let's get into it.
Okay.
Are they employed?
You know,
we're going
to start with that.
Let's start with
Okay.
that.
I think that is a perfect question to start off with. Are these three lovely ladies employed with an employment contract? And who's their boss?
And we mean that as them being demon hunters. Like obviously
Not the
as singers, we understand there's probably a standard like relationship. There's a
yes.
manager, a production company.
At one point, Bobby talks about, that's why I get my 3%. So there's definitely a contract with Bobby, who is their manager, who knows nothing about their demon hunting.
Right. So we assume that at least in terms of royalties and
From their music,
everything with music, we're just going to assume is
Standard contract.
right?
Yeah.
Not the same with the Saja Boys, though. I don't know who.
No, we'll get into. The Saja
But
Boys.
in terms of their other career as demon hunters, are they getting paid for this? Like, is there any sort of like contract that governs this, whether express or implied?
And I want to know how they were recruited into this.
Right.
Into this venture.
So many questions.
So many questions. So Liz, you had mentioned something right before we started recording. You likened it to what? To their recruitment.
Oh, the show. Oh, like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Which I'm a huge fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But that's what it reminded me of, the like whole into each generation there is born only one.
And you mentioned Charmed too.
And Charmed too. They're like the destined ones who are meant to protect the world from the demons in this generation. Right. Funny thing was that like Rumi's mom was the demon hunter group in the previous generation.
Right.
And she died in childbirth. And so one of the surviving
her dad.
Yeah, well, apparently her dad was a demon. Which is blowing my mind. I don't know.
I suppose it would be likened to if Rumi and Ginu got together.
But Rumi's already half.
Yeah, I don't know because
demon.
she's half. Right.
She's half.
So like it's got, so then this kid could likely be all
demon,
right?
3/4 demon.
Yeah, I mean we can assume.
Well, actually, funny because you were talking about Charmed. That just made me think because I used to watch Charmed, the original Charmed, and Phoebe, one of the witch sisters, got involved with a demon, and they had a kid together.
Is demon a recessive gene?
Is it?
Is demon in human form while they are consummating and conceiving?
Well, obviously they can be in human form because the Saja boys look gorgeous. Not like their demon selves.
They are the epitome of the K-pop
when they're
boy band.
We're going to go back to Twilight every single episode we can.
Every single time.
And so it's kind of like, I mean, Bella and Edward, like they have Renesmee and, you know, she is, by all accounts, a vampire.
She needed to be human
in order to be able to carry and conceive and birth a child. But that child is more vampire than not.
One day we're also going to talk about Twilight.
So in depth. It's going to be like a 5-hour episode.
In full, but we're also going to talk about the name Renesmee.
Oh, God.
We're just going to set that aside for a minute.
Yes. Yuck.
You don't want to know my thoughts about that name.
Just going to set it aside for
good.
just a minute.
Not good.
Poor Renesmee.
Aye.
The point is that, yes, it's kind of like they are recruited to this sort of venture.
Yep.
But here is where I have an issue with it. Rumi, I suppose.
Do tell.
Right. Rumi, I suppose we can understand. She's half demon.
That's
she's
more
half
of a
hunter.
Buffy situation.
Not even the half demon part. She's hunter.
She's a hunter.
Half hunter.
Right.
Correct.
And so she's kind of like, I think that is where it's
She's
like
the
Charmed,
Buffy.
it's Buffy. I think with the other two, it's more of the Avengers, maybe. Like they're
where
recruited.
they get, like,
They're not born to do this.
But the Avengers were recruited because they already had some innate ability.
But they had to have been because they make mention about the voice. The voices together are what make the Hun Moon stronger. So, you like You like my pronunciation?
So it's like, so they were found for their voices, and so.
But there has to be, in my mind, there's some innate magical ability.
They must have something special about them.
Because why? Why would their voices?
Like other people can hit those notes.
Of course.
So like Kelly Clarkson, Come On Down, Celine Dion, you're
they also
helping
can't
rebuild the Hun
They
Moon.
can't just grab any singer,
and you can't just see the Hun Moon.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if someone went to Mariah Carey and said, "Mariah, you're up. Sing a few notes, and you got."
And then she would say, "I don't know her."
She would say, "I don't know her.
Yeah,
Who the fuck is the Hun Moon?"
I don't know her.
What do you think the Illuminati's for?
Oh, that's right. You know,
Josh,
Love me some Illuminati,
Josh, you can't mention the Illuminati.
You know, Beyonce. She's gonna be after you.
Guys, what are you doing? This goes out into the internet.
He's trying to get us. He's trying to get us to take it out.
This is it.
Have you paid his bill?
Then there will be evidence of the Illuminati.
That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
But the idea is that she randomly just picked two girls who had these amazing singing voices.
They're like, oh, you could hit this note.
I don't think so.
No, that's why I'm thinking they
Yeah.
had to have something innate in
Has
them.
to be.
Otherwise, any girl who can hit that note
right
and harmonize.
And then they're magically, which is the best fucking thing I've ever seen, magically pulling swords and weapons out of the sky.
Phenomenal.
That was
it.
fantastic.
I love that.
Oh my God.
I love that very much.
Schwa.
That's power. That's like true power.
That was fantastic.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
I don't know.
You're so amused. All right. So the other question that obviously we don't know why she recruited these two particular girls. And when she recruited them was the understanding that I'm recruiting you for this girl group, but also I'm recruiting you to fight demons. Like, was that told to them up front? And in the movie, they're currently in their 20s, but they've been around for a few years. They're in their early 20s.
Do you think they started before they were 18?
That's a great question. Were they recruited when they were minors? Which is a whole slew of issues.
I'm going to go no, only because...
It makes our job easier.
No, here's my instinct on it. Mira and Zoe both clearly had families that they came from.
Yes.
And they talk about it.
Right.
Zoe grew up...
Normal families.
Zoe grew up in
human
Burbank,
families.
USA.
Mira was a problem child.
Right,
She
but-
was.
but
Because
from a normal family.
Got too wild. But now
and that's how she's getting paid.
Dana hates when we do that. It's my favorite part.
I'll
go
allow a
on.
little bit.
All right, go on.
Just like Vinny. Yeah, I think like they grew up in normal families. Like they weren't like bred for this. They weren't born into this. It's like they raised normal daughters.
Well, so my
who just happened to be able to hit a certain note.
That's why I think they were 18 and could go and do what
It
they
must,
wanted to
because
do.
otherwise you need to get like parental like
Exactly.
Consent.
And they don't know, so that's why I'm thinking they were definitely 18.
Have you guys
They did their own
ever
thing.
watched Alias, but also Nikita?
Loved
Alias. But also, have you ever seen La Femme Nikita?
Yes.
So this sort of reminded me of that a little bit.
Okay.
Where, I mean, Alias, Jennifer Garner was recruited in college, so
Yep.
she was over 18.
Yep.
But Nikita was recruited as a child because she was an orphan and whatever the case was, and they recruited her and brought her into this world of spying and raised her as an assassin.
And she kicked ass.
She kicked serious ass, and they raised her and trained her to be an assassin when she was a minor.
You're getting the same vibe
Same
here.
vibes, right? And
I can see that.
And this woman,
because they clearly trained. They talked about yes, Celine. You know, they're all like, and they're the good little soldiers.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
no, she definitely trained them for sure.
Did
Right.
you see the Black Widow movie?
yes.
Same idea.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Same idea. Yeah.
I love Black Widow. That was a good one too.
Yeah,
that was a
that's
good one.
really the same idea. They're recruiting young children.
Right, bringing them in. But we don't know that happened here. Like it might have just been after 18. We also don't know how that like worked out between you're recruited to be a demon hunter and also like part of making the band. You know,
That's
like,
right.
like
Right.
who's doing it first? Like, are you getting into the band first?
That's what
and
I'm
then
saying.
they're like,
I
by
feel
the
like-
way, if you're gonna be in this band, you also have to hunt demons.
exactly what
I
I
feel
said.
like
Did
that's
she tell
it.
them?
I feel like it's the singing part first to see if they can make
Mesh together
the
and then be
thing,
like,
and
P.S.
then it's
this
P.S.
isn't-
Oh wow, magical powers.
This is
Boom.
not in your,
Yeah.
but where is that in your contract? You signed a contract with a production company.
don't know that there
or the
is a
producer.
contract.
Was there
As a manager.
was there a call, like an audition call? But the audition
like
said
making the band.
right. But the audition, but the requirements were you have to sing and also you have to know martial arts.
Right. Yeah, because they all are very well trained.
Of course.
They don't just sing.
True.
And if they were recruited as adults, they absolutely did not have time to become master.
So you're thinking
Jujitsu,
because of
whatever.
that, it must have started earlier?
Yeah, I know. Okay.
You think they must have been
Must
recruited
started
as
earlier.
in childhood?
Yeah, I think so.
We need like more of a backstory on this.
Well, maybe that's
For
what
real.
the sequel's going to be. Maybe it's going to be like a prequel of sorts.
Right.
And so, but then that kind of brings us back to who is running this show? Is it just Celine? And it can't be because Celine was originally them. Celine was the last generation's demon hunter, right?
Yeah.
So someone was training her. Someone was.
Right. Who's like the overarching boss of all
Who
this?
is the equivalent of Marvel's shield in this scenario?
Wherever this garden is that they meet up with the
Right.
trees. I don't got much. But the scenes where they've got Celine
Yes.
and Rumi as a
Right.
young girl.
Yes.
They're in this tree. It looks to me it's like magical sacred tree.
Do you think
Yes,
that the
yes, yes.
forest is like running the show? Like it's
like
the trees?
some kind of a natural
Sure.
thing, and then there's so many questions here, and like where did they come from? Where did this
Yeah, right.
happen?
Maybe they're gonna address
They
this.
train there. Is this where they got their magical powers
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the font,
But
the tree of knowledge? I'm
are
just
they-
making up stuff left.
No,
and
but
right.
I like it because also, are they, if we're going to talk about them as employees, are they getting paid for their services? Again, setting aside the singing part of it, let's assume they're getting paid for the singing and the records and
Yes.
the whatever else.
Right.
Yes.
Are they getting paid for the demon slaying of it all?
Right. Because if you're a musical artist and you sign with a production company, like, and so in that contract, it'll say like, in addition to singing, you're also required to make these appearances and
go
do
to
this.
concerts.
And, yeah, like
So a lot of times
meet with these
release
fans.
X number of albums
you're not
in a
getting
certain
paid
period
for
of
each
time.
individual thing you're doing
Right.
because it's already encompassed by your
Are they getting
contract.
paid for each individual demon that they slay?
Oh, I don't know, unless it's done
And-
like those appearances. Like if I'm Kelly Clarkson and I sign, with
Are you?
whoever.
Say
yeah,
it.
I am. And so there you go. And you sign with like a company, like a production company, like your producers have in your contract,
Things.
this is what you're required to do.
Well, I'm
And
going to go out on a
it's not that
limb
you're
and
going to get
say
paid for every single little thing.
Huntrix's contract absolutely includes unlimited amounts of ramen.
Yes.
Yes.
Unlimited.
Yes.
Yes.
And sushi.
But that has
That's in their
nothing to do-
rider. That's just in their
Just
rider.
the writer. They must have that.
That has nothing to do with their demon slaying.
Yeah.
Are
It's
they
like ramen.
required to slay a minimum number of demons per outing?
In order to like maintain like their contractual rights if there's a contract. Or are they doing this like out
Are
of the
they
goodness
getting-
of their hearts? Like they found out this is what's happening. These demons are going to be like taking
Higher
over the
calling.
souls of everyone. And so it's like, I want to be part of this musical group, but I will also, I'm going to try to save the world.
They
Buffy-
have a very
Who's to say it's an organized group and not just a militia?
Well, that's a great point. Are they
True.
some sort of like
Vigilante, like-
vigilantes?
Yeah.
Buffy didn't get paid.
no.
Buffy didn't.
Buffy was a vigilante.
No, she was. She was absolutely a vigilante. She was
Right?
protecting the world from demons
Right.
again.
Because you know that's
Vampires.
on you.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to help solve
And
it,
these girls
you're
have-
going to be a victim too.
These girls have an overly developed sense of responsibility
Yes.
and
so much pressure.
Oh yeah.
But also, they have this overly developed sense of responsibility because they have been shoved into this role.
100%.
Right. They didn't really have a choice. Like if someone comes to you and says, you are one of 3 people who can help like save the world from these demons, which also will affect you and your family.
You know what, guys?
Like-
This is why
But honestly, somebody comes to you
Yeah.
and says that to you guys. What do you say?
I say
How
I
do
don't.
you say no?
I say
I'm
I
out.
can't sing very well.
I'm going to say, I can't hit any notes. I don't know any
I'm
martial
not the one.
arts.
I'm not the
I'm
one you're
so
looking
tired.
for.
I'm
No,
not
what's
doing
that?
it.
What's that reel?
Sorry.
Hold on. What's that reel? The Celine Dion reel, where it's like, my kid needs help with math homework, and then over it is like, I'm not what you need. No, anybody?
Nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna play it for you later.
Oh my god.
Josh, cut this part out later.
God. But yeah, like I just
You
think,
need to stop watching reels.
No, I'm chronically online. I can't.
are they simply like private citizens who are taking violent action instead of reporting these threats to some sort of higher authority, some legal enforcement agency? Like, I just, they might bear some liability there.
I
They
think they bear a
may.
ton of liability.
I mean, I think there's a ton of liability, even with like, look, we talked about this with Avengers, even though they are part of S.H.I.E.L.D., like there's actually like clearly contracts of some sort in
But
place.
nobody knows who
But
Shield
even
is.
then, like they're being blamed
much
for
older,
and
too.
held liable for like, causing deaths and destruction and,
all over the world, not just in one country. So there is no real overarching control over
What
any
happens
of this.
if one of them gets hurt in this business
Right.
of demons?
Then who's bearing the liability? It's not going to be their
Well, and-
manager.
No, and
It's not
Rumi
gonna be
did,
Bobby.
It has
Rumi
nothing
did
to do
get
with it.
hurt. She took a cut to the arm, which is what exposed her
To Gina.
her
Patterns.
patterns. Thank you. Exposed her patterns and made her obvious what it was,
Right.
what she was. And so she did get hurt, and her voice was getting damaged too.
But her voice was getting damaged not because of the demon slaying per se. The
It's
voice,
kind of because the demon, like the patterns are actually overtaking
over.
her.
Correct.
As her like scars, those markings, they kind of keep growing in her body. It's like it's affecting her and taking away her
But
voice and abilities.
if one of them gets very seriously hurt, is there
Right.
some sort of medical insurance? Is there hazard pay? Do they get overtime
Yeah.
when they're sitting on the couch, but then they got to go slay demons?
which is my
Right.
favorite scene ever.
It's like I don't understand. Like how is any of this like who bears any responsibility for these girls getting hurt? Like I don't know.
And then if they were to like ask for workers' comp,
Who's who?
like who are they suing
It's
for
not
workers'
gonna be.
comp?
It's not gonna be a production
they
company.
know
It's
what
not gonna
they
be
were
their manager.
they know what they're
management
signing
company.
up for.
But who?
Did they? That's the question.
I think they did. They've been doing this long
one of the-
enough that
let's
they
say
know.
Zoe, God forbid, dies.
Oh,
Okay.
No.
Okay. Like her family is gonna be like, who are we going after for this? Like who bears
Her
the
family
responsibility?
didn't
They're
even-
her estate.
is this like the CIA? Like her family didn't even know
Yeah, I don't
she
think
was
their
in
families
this?
their families don't know anything.
I don't get the impression they know anything.
No.
No.
Now, in terms of their liability, I think that there's at least an argument of like self-defense. Like there's a self-defense doctrine. Like they could argue that the attacks were justified because they're stopping imminent harm to the human race. Like
Their liability,
so, like
yes.
when there's so much damage, like property damage that happens throughout this movie, and the
plane at the
and
very
also
beginning
people
gets
die.
destroyed.
People,
Oh my gosh, yes.
and people die, and
You know, the other thing that just came to mind, when they fight the demons, they fight them using obviously the magical things, the whatever, but also their voices heal the Hun Moon, right? It patches the Hun Moon. And they're fighting the demons in their costumes, in their Huntrix costumes.
Yeah.
Can't there be a claim made that they are fighting them not as like individual Rumi, Mira, Zoe? They're fighting them as the entity Huntrix that is owned by presumably a record label.
right. That's actually a really good point because if you're like the record label, you can say you were representing our property,
Yes.
our like IP. Like this is like Huntrix is their property.
Yeah.
It's like Spice Girls, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going out and you're like fighting someone and being like, I'm Ginger Spice and I'm fighting you, it's like, no, you can,
Sporty-
Jerry Halliwell,
Sporty
you can go fight
Spice.
someone as your own citizen, like as a private
Right.
citizen. But once you do that, like as a record label, I'd be like that affects us. That
Yes.
affects our bottom
it's
line.
like it's like if you get into a car accident with a UPS driver, you're gonna go after UPS because he hit you in his capacity as an employee of
for
UPS.
UPS.
Whereas,
So what
whereas
if he was in his UPS shirt driving his own car?
I think if he was on his way to work,
Yeah.
No, I don't think the
I
liability
don't think the
starts yet,
liability
'cause-
starts.
So they're using weapons that aren't owned by Huntrix. They just happen to leave
But
work early.
they didn't leave work early. It's
In
literally
the middle of the
of
concert, they're
They're
slaying
still on- they're
demons,
on
They
Huntrix
left
Josh.
time.
work early.
They
no, they're on
didn't-
Huntrix time.
They got to work late because they were fighting demons.
That's right.
And then they landed in
The
the
UPS
stadium.
driver got to work late because he got in an accident.
No,
But if they're
they
doing it in their
landed
uniforms, like
but
in their
also,
little Huntrix uniforms,
They landed in the stadium and were hunting demons
Yep.
in the middle of the concert.
Yep.
Yep.
In fact, Zoe threw her knife thing and
Yes.
killed the demon right between two normal
Yes.
human
Now,
girls.
let's say-
what if she missed?
Yeah.
What if she
So who's
missed?
bearing the liability? I mean, is it the record label? Is it the venue? Like you're at a concert, and
I think everybody gets sued.
this is almost akin to, but very much not akin to.
Tell
Like
me.
those horrible stories where, like in like a baseball game or a hockey game,
someone
like
gets hit.
somebody gets
Oh,
hit with
somebody
a
gets hit?
puck and
Yeah, yeah.
dies or gets horribly injured. You know, It's not, is it the player?
I don't know.
Is it MSG?
Well, is this-
There's a million disclaimers when you go to those games
So is this
to
like
look
a-
out for flying objects that, the ball, the puck, whatever can come over.
Hold on a minute. You want to tell me that when you go to a Huntrix concert, the back of the ticket has a disclaimer that says if
You might
someone
get
throws a
killed
sword at your face,
by
we're
a
not
sword.
liable?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying her point about games. They've got liability disclosures all over the
But
place.
people still have been liable. Like now they have those disclosures.
I think
back in the day,
I think if it's so egregious,
Back
in the day,
enough care wasn't taken.
I think this is plenty egregious. It's plenty
All right,
egregious. She's
Grumpy.
throwing swords at demons.
you think that's egregious? Yeah, I think so.
I think it's
pretty
plenty
egregious.
Is there some sort of force
they
majeure
thought it
that
was
kicks
cool
in?
and they got a really great selfie out of
Is
it.
it a force majeure? Like, let's say they're performing at MSG, and this is where this happens. Like, are you going to sue MSG, or would MSG
Yes.
say this was
100%
a
sue
force
MSG.
majeure? Like,
No.
we did not. There was no way for us to safeguard. Like,
No.
if it's a puck,
That's not
fine,
true.
maybe we needed to have
There's
like
glass,
nets higher.
there's
and-
nets.
Yeah,
They've
But maybe
done
for
that.
this, it's like no, we did not assume liability for you getting hurt with a sword that we would never anticipate would be part of this
disagree.
concert. Go on.
I disagree because I think that MSG's responsibility as a venue that is
Yeah.
putting on this particular group and these particular people is to know what the hell is going to be happening in their venue.
But they
Okay.
don't know because
That's their
no
job
one
to
knows.
know.
No, but nobody knows that this musical group
That's
is
not
also
my problem,
these
that's their
vigilantes.
problem.
No, I think that's it's like the reasonable person standard. Like, would
Right.
reasonable and prudent person in that position who owns this venue
Yeah.
assume that this
Well,
pop
how is it
star is going to come and try to slay a
How is
demon?
the answer to
How
that?
is it any different than pyrotechnics at a show that could go awry? And if you're in the front row, you could potentially
Fair.
get hurt. You could get
Right.
burnt, whatever. But
have an answer to
They
your
know
question.
what they're using in the shows.
Right, but that's at least they know what they're using in the shows.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they don't know that this musical group is going to be slaying demons
I
during
have an
their
answer
show.
for you.
Yeah.
I think that they should know that this musical group is going to be slaying demons
Why?
because it happens every damn time. They slay demons wherever they go. So unless you're going to tell me that the concert goers do not actually
I think that they're not
That the-
aware of it.
that the
Otherwise,
demon
everyone would
slaying
know
is
that they're
invisible.
demon slayers.
Right.
But
And
hold
they-
on a minute. Are you saying to me that the demon slaying is invisible to everyone but Huntrix?
Something
No.
like that. It has to be because otherwise
No,
they
what's,
wouldn't be known.
what's the reaction of the
because
girls?
they said cool costume.
right.
When the
so they
when the
see
demon
demons.
pops up, so they saw the
Right.
demon. They did see the demon. That wasn't it. But these venues like MSG, artists, they perform. Everybody gets general liability insurance for this kind
And
of
I
stuff
think
when
I think
things
they'd have
happen.
to I think they'd have to pay out because it is on their
So-
premises. It is a group that they have hired to perform in their building.
Right. However, let's say that
So
you,
we're saying this is going to be a fight amongst the insurance lawyers.
absolutely
I
because
think so.
I think this is not anticipated anyway. Pyrotechnics is anticipated to some extent.
Yeah.
But like
Demon
let's say,
slaying is not.
Like look, let's say NSYNC gets back together. Okay, I know.
From your
I
lips,
hope so.
from your lips to God's
ears.
ears.
I agree. Please, I hope. May we be so
We've
lucky.
we've already made it happen for Backstreet Boys.
I know. Now we just got to get NSYNC together.
Manifest.
Good thoughts. So we get them together, and suddenly, in the middle of this concert, Lance Bass turns out to be. Don't sue me, Lance Bass.
Defamation.
Just a murderer, like a serial
Oh
killer
my
that we
God,
just never
not
knew he
Lance.
was. We never knew he was. And in the middle of this concert, he just jumps off stage and starts slashing up people in the audience. You're telling me that the concert venue should have anticipated that Lance Bass also moonlights as a serial killer?
No, so I think that in that case, MSG would still have liability because there were not enough barriers between audience and performer.
I think,
But there's
you're
not-
going too far with that. I think if they were performing and the venue got robbed and the performers tried to throw their microphone at the head of the people robbing them so that they would stop robbing the people and they missed and hit one of the people, who's liable? Because they were trying to stop them from hurting them.
I don't think that's the same thing.
Where you
I guess so, because he's saying
Well,
the
maybe it is
demons
the same
are the
thing.
robbers. The demons have infiltrated
Yeah.
this concert.
well, so
Right.
it's a good
It's not
it's a
Lance
good
who's the
Samaritan
bad guy.
law.
Good Samaritan.
Right.
Her
Just
analogy
concept.
is not analogous, is what
Right.
you're saying.
What was that last word?
Analogous.
Anal-
That's
Analogous.
a big word.
Earlier I said imbued, and he said what?
I think it is actually analogous, I guess, because like it's that. Yeah, The problem is
You're switching who the bad guy is in your analogy.
Yeah, I guess. But the thing is, it's because the Huntrix girls are the reason that these demons are like kind of drawn to this particular concert. Like, I feel like they're not just like randomly there. Like, it's because of who they are in secret.
Okay, so even better. The fact that wherever they go, the demons follow them. Mm-hmm. And so
they're putting everyone at risk.
They're putting everyone at risk.
Right. But the venue
doesn't know that.
The record label, like, all these people don't know that this is happening.
But I mean, I think
how do you assume like that kind of liability? Like, how do you?
Well, not to put a damper on things, and maybe we should cut this out after the fact. Yeah, maybe we should cut this out after the fact.
Let's see how it goes. Continue.
Yeah. Ariana Grande's concert, where there was a terrorist attack in Manchester. Yeah. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. This is pretty much the situation.
I'd be sadly, interested. It's been happening. Yeah. There was the country concert in Vegas.
Yes.
Right?
I would be interested to hear what the insurance payouts were and who got sued and who was ultimately found liable.
Yeah.
Right? Because they went to a concert.
I don't know, because I think it's going to depend. I mean, I don't know that a general liability clause is going to cover something like that. That could be like a lot of things.
It's so unforeseen.
That's right. It's unforeseen. It's
that's
not
an
predictable.
act of God.
It's not
an act of God.
Well,
it's unforeseen.
An act of God is a tornado.
But see, this is demons.
But
I think that's an act of God.
Demons an act of God?
I mean, it's not something you can anticipate. You can anticipate like something like a terrorist attack, like awful. But it's something that we know
a tragedy.
Exists. But but demons, we don't know that's a thing.
I don't know that a tragedy is going to be covered by general liability insurance, though.
Why not?
I don't know.
Isn't the whole point of general liability to cover?
But they
anything
exclude
that they have
a lot of things, and I still think they could qualify it as an act of God because it's not foreseeable.
Ariana herself was not implicated. I'm on board. Liability fell on the parties responsible for venue security.
Okay.
Chances to stop the attack had been missed, concluding there were serious shortcomings in the security. So the four parties were the venue operator, the crowd management, the security company,
the
police
responsible for
the
policing.
two different police agencies, right?
And
so I think that's honestly
fall
what would
the
happen
security
here.
of this concert. Like whoever is responsible for security at this concert.
The case actually settled for a landmark payout of nearly £20 million
to 16 children,
16 kids. Yeah.
Right, because
that's a lot.
I think this is actually this is very tragic and not at all meant to be sort of. We're not at all playing it up for laughs, but I think what we're talking about is essentially the security of what's happening in the venue. Right,
yeah.
You got demons coming into the venue during a concert.
Yes,
right?
And I would argue that Huntrix is providing the ultimate security to these people, and they are putting their lives on the line to protect them.
Except Huntrix is not coordinating with outside security.
Or they're not informed that this there's a high likelihood of this happening, or the fact that Huntrix is the reason why the demons are drawn to this particular space.
Right. Right.
That's, I think
and quite frankly,
I mean, yes and no. I think the demons are really trying to avoid Huntrix
as
much
as
possible. They don't want to get killed. No, unless their boss was the one who was sending them after, which is what happened.
Like on the plane in the first
But it's not a regular occurrence.
But the Saja boys are created for the sole purpose of bringing down Huntrix, right?
They're created for the sole purpose of interfering in Huntrix's job, strengthening the Hun Moon, and weakening it. So, yes, I don't know that they're created to take them down necessarily, but to weaken their power and take it over.
Right. And some of that is done in legitimate ways, which is like, we have to rise on the charts.
They said it themselves. We're fighting for the souls of the fans.
Right. My little soda pop.
I love that song. Some of it
infectious.
It's like some of it is done in like non-violent, normal business type ways. We take down a musical group by rising in like in the ranks. Like we rise in the charts, and so that we knock them off their number one
because
spot,
the internet loves this, and the internet is never wrong.
Right? Exactly. The internet's never wrong.
Well.
So I don't know. I think I don't know. It's very hard to think who might bear the liability there. And I think that, I don't know, there's so many different ways to view it. Maybe the security teams, maybe it will fall on Huntrix. Maybe it'll fall on their record label and their manager because you, of all people, should have known that they are demon hunters.
Bobby was so clueless. They even talked about demons, and Bobby
and he's
was
like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but okay, carry on.
Carry on.
Yeah. And it's like, you should have known of anyone, any party. You're the ones who should have known that they are in this position of power that draws this danger to their concerts and puts their fans at risk.
Yeah, Bobby's a really bad Giles.
Yes. Yes.
Bobby's not the.
No,
what's going on?
it's
Bobby's not the
Celine.
Giles. Celine is the Giles.
Yeah.
Which also then brings us to this concept of if they're their own sort of vigilante entity, is there any kind of government regulation? Which we touched upon a little bit, and it doesn't sound like there is any kind of government
I don't think
regulation.
there
Is there any sort of demon regulation agency? I don't think that there is. I don't think anybody knows that demons exist other than Huntrix and Celine and the Sunshine Sisters or whatever they were called.
Yeah.
Right? Was that what they were called?
Sunlight Sisters?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know her, as Mariah Carey says.
I also wonder, would the record label have claims against them for not meeting their obligations? Right. Because
1,000,000%.
they have performance obligations. They have publicity commitments. And here they are off fighting demons and not completing their contractual obligations.
Although granted,
often.
granted, Rumi moves up the release of Golden. Like she makes the executive decision to move it up.
Which is interesting.
Right.
So,
So
like, they must have retained a lot of power in the contract that they have because there really doesn't seem to be any
oversight.
Oh,
No record company execs breathing down their necks.
The
none
interesting
of that
thing
stuff.
is, like, in researching for this, I learned that, I guess, particularly with like K-pop idols, like they're known to like sign very long-term agreements that are very overly burdensome and like
they have to churn
have
out
been
the
referred
albums
to on the internet as like slave contracts, and that like they can't, like they're so restrictive in terms
well,
and
it's
the long
funny that
durations.
you say that because I
very
think this is like
oppressive.
indentured servitude.
Right.
You know?
Right.
but not the singing.
Not the,
The
singing
demon
part.
slaying.
It seems like they have so much control over the singing part. It's almost like they answer to nobody. They're like, this is when we're going to,
Right,
this
yes.
is the song. No one has to approve it. Like usually there's like a lot of people having to approve it. And
they write their own songs.
Yeah.
no one has to approve their songs. They get to change the release date however they want. Like all of this is like, you know, they have a lot of autonomy when it comes to that.
Yes.
At least more so than other musical artists would.
Contrary to what we've read about other kind of K-pop acts.
Yeah, or even any big acts. I mean, I don't think
Well,
the
yeah, I
Spice
mean, I
Girls
would
were
say-
able to like decide what
I
like,
would say
tracks they wanted to
the
release.
boy bands and that kind of stuff were definitely
There's so many
controlled
stories out there
by-
of how oppressive that was to like the
The-
boy bands.
That guy,
Who's
what was
the
his
big
name?
guy
Lou,
who was responsible? Lou, right? Yeah.
Oh, God.
Stole the
He just-
money,
he just
did all
stopped.
this
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, he went to jail.
Yeah.
Lou.
Yeah, I know.
It was Lou.
So this has been happening forever, you know, like not having the rights to your music. I mean, look, we had the same thing with like, Taylor Swift, one of the most powerful musical artists of all time, also had this issue and literally had to re-record all her songs so that she could have the ownership rights.
Yep.
The first Lou Pearlman.
Perlman.
Lou Pearlman.
That was it.
Yeah, and so it's like she.
Yes, and Taylor didn't start putting in those particular clauses that she owns her masters until after that whole fiasco.
And she re-recorded, actually, bringing it back, because Kelly Clarkson suggested it.
And by the way, whenever she would release, now she's not going to likely release any more Taylor's versions because she now owns all of her masters. But because Kelly Clarkson, do you know this?
No.
This
Oh,
lore?
this is crazy.
When Scooter Braun bought all of the masters, Kelly Clarkson tweeted something that said Taylor should re-record all of her songs with like a slight little deviation from the original and re-release them and make all of her money this way. And that's in fact
And then
exactly
Taylor
what
was
Taylor
like,
did.
I will do that.
That's exactly what Taylor did.
Kelly
That's
Clarkson.
fantastic.
Kelly Clarkson is such like an artist's
I'll
artist.
tell you, I love her.
I love her.
She was
She
the best
really
thing that
props
ever
people
came
up.
out of American Idol.
Amazing.
So
She's fantastic.
Whenever Taylor would release a new album, Taylor's version, she would send a big bouquet of flowers to Kelly Clarkson.
That's
I think
incredible.
she should have been sending her paycheck.
I
but
think
that's
Kelly
neither here nor
Clarkson's
there.
good
I think
on
she's
money.
all
I
right.
think she's fine.
I'm just saying, but I do think that a bouquet of flowers is very lovely.
That's very lovely. But yeah, she's great.
Yes, it was Kelly Clarkson's idea.
That's fantastic.
And right, she literally re-recorded with just like a tiny little bit of a difference.
That's great.
And she was
I
able to
love
re-release them and
stories
make
of like artists supporting artists.
I love people that support that. So I watch a lot of wrestling with my boys because they love that kind of stuff. So one of the wrestlers had the band re-record the song that they did in a slightly different way so that they, the band themselves, would get the specific credit every time his song played instead of the label and whatever. So there are other people out there that are cognizant of that and support the artist, and I love it.
Going back to Taylor Swift, because I'm a Swiftie. I don't know if you guys know this.
No. You?
It's true.
It's amazing.
Shocking.
I don't know. Taylor Swift's latest album, The Life of a Showgirl, there is a song called Father Figure. And she basically, George Michael's father figure, right? So rather than sampling Figure. Rather than sampling it and giving George Michael credit as like she just sampled that song, she gave him writing credit on the song. Because he did not own his own masters. And he died not owning his masters.
So his estate got the money?
His estate gets the money
That's
because
nice.
He's listed as a co-writer.
That's
that's
fantastic.
So nice. Wow.
And that's my Taylor Swift lore for
You
the
know
day.
what? And honestly, I may not be rabid about her music, but I appreciate her because she gives a lot of money away to charities and other endeavors, and she's a good human.
She's a good egg.
Yeah, she's
is.
a good egg.
Yeah.
Let's get back to these good eggs, shall we?
I was going to wear my hoodie that
Huntrix.
says in my showgirl era. I don't know why I did.
Aw. I love that.
I'm a big fan of Huntrix. I'm going to start wearing that.
I love it. I love it. Okay, guys.
Female empowerment.
We
It's
were talking
amazing.
about government regulation. We decided there ain't none.
Nope.
All right. And then Saja Boys. Okay. They
Love that.
have no record label. They have no manager. They are
They
controlled
have
by a
Guima.
demon.
They've got Guima.
Right. And
Who,
so it's
by
like,
the way, is not even like
who's
in
getting the
demon
royalties?
form. He's just like fire.
yeah. It's
Pretty
an
cool.
aura.
Some entity.
Who's
Entity.
getting
With
the
a
royalties?
really
They're
hot
making
voice.
money. They're not
No?
giving like
voice.
they're people are buying their albums. People are seeing them in concert. Who's getting that money? Where's that money going? The IP. Who's owning the IP?
I mean, it's not the head demon. He's got no use for money. He wants soul.
Right. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need IP rights.
Nope.
No, it's a good question. And they're winning all these awards.
Oh my God, so many awards.
Right? I just don't
Saja
know.
boys love you.
Stupid. Baby Saja.
Baby Saja. Oh my God, I loved the game shows. That was so typical of the
Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No,
Hot
thank you.
sauce challenge. That's great.
Okay, so one thing, so we know that Rumi, she is half demon. She's hiding this.
I really want to know what that's all about.
I know. Well, I think that they're gonna have to delve
I got
into
to
that.
throw this out there. Sequel. I need to
Spoiler.
know.
What?
She's half demon.
Did you not
We
see
just
this
literally
movie?
been talking about it the entire episode.
Yeah, Josh.
Okay, I guess if you haven't seen this movie,
Have you been here?
we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this at the top of every single episode. We're just gonna say, if you haven't seen this movie, you're gonna get spoiled when we talk about this movie. No, yes. So because of that, and her bandmates, they don't know that she's half demon. She hides this from the entire world.
But she's told that
her
from a young
patterns.
age.
She has to hide her
Your
patterns.
patterns.
Yes.
Constantly.
That's why she can't go to the bathhouse with them.
No, it is drilled into her from when she's a kid to hide away.
the patterns. By the way, I love just how everything's a metaphor and like how everything is like, you have to hide your inner demons and your patterns and the shame of your mistakes. Oh God, so smart. But she doesn't show her bandmates this. They don't know about this. So that begs the question of on the one hand, you could say that she has a right to privacy, like right of privacy to like the fact that this is, let's say, a medical thing. Like she's born with this medical affliction.
Let's analogize it to a
like
medical disability.
HIPAA rights, all that. No one has the
You're
right.
discriminating against demons, but all right. Go on.
It's your medical records and your medical history. Like that's not just something that you're like other people have the right to know.
Patterns can target you.
All right.
What'd you say?
The patterns can make her be a target.
Right.
No, I know. I'm saying that you likened it to a medical disability, and I said you're discriminating. You're presuming that being a demon is the equivalent of having a medical disability.
Well, I mean, regardless whether it's a disability or not,
purposes,
let's just say
yes.
it's a difference in not that it's like a disability, but like differently abled. Let's just say that's what she's
Differently
she's
able.
differently able.
How
We're not
PC
saying
are you?
it's better or worse. She's just there's a difference.
Different.
There's a difference from the norm. A
We're
deviation from the
nothing if
norm.
not PC.
Yes, there's a deviation from the norm. But if we think of it as a medical thing, no one really just automatically has the right to know that. She has a right of privacy to that kind of medical history. On the other hand, by
Balancing test,
by
Diana.
having
Go
it's a
ahead.
balancing test. By having that affliction, let's say, of being half demon, she puts her bandmates and anyone who works for the label and anyone in her orbit at risk, at very high risk. Not only because she now it could be a target for other demons, but also because what happens when the patterns take over and she becomes full demon?
And they're growing.
They're growing. And so it's one of those things like, okay, like the Hulk, like, you know, like,
oh yeah,
you know,
she hulking out.
Right. It's
Because
like,
when she gets upset and mad,
you
and
wouldn't
she
like me when I'm angry,
screamed,
right?
Yeah.
And so it's like,
there was a pulse that like went out.
So it's kind of like the person with you should know that this person can turn into the Incredible Hulk at any moment. And until later movies, he wasn't able to even control himself when he was in Hulk form.
She's putting them all at risk.
She's putting them at risk. So it's like a balancing act of like, is there a duty to disclose, or does she
versus her right to privacy?
Right. And I'm not really sure where we fall on that, but she is putting the other two at risk by them not knowing this.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer to it.
Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting. Yeah, it was interesting. That's a great point. The spin of the movie obviously is more of like, I should have trusted you guys to have my back. I should have trusted that you were going to turn on me when you found this out, and I should have told you.
But she was worried about discrimination, right?
Like a lot of
people.
shoulda, coulda, you know? I mean...
Well, I mean, there was a slew of case law with like people, particularly in the 80s and 90s, who weren't disclosing their HIV status.
Oh, God, yeah.
Because they knew that they'd automatically be discriminated against and ostracized from
Well,
society.
don't you remember the swimmer who fell and hid...
Greg
was it
Louganis.
Louganis?
Yes, Greg Louganis. And he hit his head. He was a diver. And he hit his head on the diving board, and then there was blood in the water. And at that point, he had to disclose that he was HIV positive because he put other swimmers at risk. We didn't know that much.
Right.
Yeah, right.
No, we didn't. Yeah.
And so there was an assumption that he's now putting all the other divers at risk who might, who were going to dive into that water. That was crazy. But it's kind of like that. Like, there was case law that said that like you have to disclose. I think even now you can't knowingly have unprotected sex with someone if you are HIV positive and not tell them that you're HIV positive.
Right. That and also when we're dealing
you're
with...
held liable for that. That's
when
criminal.
we deal with divorce cases, and there are cases where...
People go outside the marriage and may contract some kind of STD or something. Doesn't have to necessarily be HIV. It could be something else.
STD,
But you go and you bring it home and you pass it on to your partner.
Knowingly.
That is,
right?
Or not even knowingly.
Not even knowingly.
Not even that you're trying to do it, but like
You're not taking the proper
precautions, and you put them at risk, and they contract something. They can sue you as a tort, a liability.
It becomes
even
a personal
if you
injury
yourself
case.
don't know that you have the STD.
You did not take the proper precautions to not forget protecting yourself. You then did not protect your spouse, your partner. And so they can actually file, it's called a TEVIS claim in New Jersey, and it becomes a separate personal injury claim,
and so
separate
quite
from
frankly,
the divorce.
if you're going to step out and you're going to take risks,
Well, does that mean that every
should-
single person who's ever like slept with someone and gotten like, I don't know, HPV or something like that, like, do they have a claim against the person that gave them
if
like a
they
legal
decide
claim?
to file a lawsuit,
Wow,
they do.
that's interesting. I did not know about that.
But yeah, it becomes a whole separate personal injury claim. It gets bifurcated from the divorce itself, and it gets heard with a jury as opposed to a bench
you
trial.
could.
with a
You don't
judge.
have to.
You
You
could
do a
right.
bench trial, but you have the option of having a jury.
And that similarly, we talked about this, I think, in Shrek, is that, of course we did. Of course we did. when she gave him the clap, no, it was
Yikes!
no, but like we were saying,
talk about
That's defamation right now.
what was it? I know, sorry, Fiona. When we were talking about how Fiona didn't disclose, like
that she was a demon,
that
not
she
a demon.
was
Sorry, an ogre.
an ogre half
An
the
ogre.
time, right? And
was
we
not
started talking about like whether that's grounds for annulment. And
Yes, and I think it is.
I think you guys told me, if I remember correctly, that one of the grounds for annulment is like if you've entered the marriage with like
fraud.
It's considered a fraud that you knew that you had HIV, let's say, and you didn't disclose that to your partner, and you get married. That's grounds for an annulment.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's interesting. That was like one of the things that I was like, I never knew that.
What were we
So
just
then
talking
here
about?
is this like, do they have a claim against her when they find out that she is half demon? Can they sue her for what?
I think it depends on whether there's damages.
Right.
It all comes down to the same
like
thing.
what about tortious
there's-
interference with prospective business advantage? Like
Well,
now
so
she's
that-
ruining their
Maybe.
entire music career.
That's
But
what I have.
if there's damages, like you have to still be able.
Well, there are
and
damages
people
because
can have
when
claims, but you need to be able to quantify what those claims
but their
are.
whole
Quantify.
yeah. quantify. But you know what? But they can, right? Because there's like the concert that goes awry and everything like breaks apart. And
But
like
they didn't lose money, theoretically.
I'm sure they did.
You think they had to refund the tickets that everybody paid?
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
And they probably lost out on any other contracts that they were entered into for future shows, merchandise.
Hold on. I think, so I don't know whether they would have a claim because again, I think it would depend on the damages.
Right.
But I think that there is some type of claim with the fact that Rumi now starts working with Genu. It starts working with the enemy.
Okay.
Right? And so
The enemy in theory? Because,
No,
I
not
mean,
in theory.
she kind of is too. It's like they
The
found
enemy-
a kindred spirit. They understand each other.
the enemy of Huntrix as an entity, right? The enemy of Huntrix as a musical group.
Okay, so she's betraying them by keeping that secret.
Sure.
She's,
And
they're
causing
both,
them.
It's like an
they're both
espionage
being
thing?
spies, right?
But
like
is she
double
causing
agents.
is she causing Huntrix to lose money because they're now losing these awards, they're losing these shows,
Okay.
whatever. Is she causing them to lose money? She's clearly working with the other side, and I feel like that's some type.
even
of,
She wasn't working with the other side.
Kind of with
to have Huntrix lose. She was trying to get him to cooperate with them winning so that they could save the whole world, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Certainly, Genu is sabotaging.
Oh, he was sabotaging.
the Saja boys.
Yeah, but
yeah.
She knew or should have known that by fraternizing with Genu and in the process of that, probably divulging information, like it's like trade secrets, right?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
at that point, like, yeah, she is she is
Hold
interfering
up.
with their.
What about the patently obvious? She allows Genu's spirit animal to come waltzing into her room.
Yeah.
And they steal the lyrics
Yes.
to the song that they were writing and use it against her.
Right. That is at the very least, that's negligence.
Absolutely. So that's kind of like just allowing them to waltz right in
Yeah.
and take your secrets.
So we had started talking about this prior to. I'd like to analogize this to what everyone is talking about right now.
Oh, Lordy.
Heated rivalry. Obviously, I'm going to take it away from Twilight for just a second.
Wow.
And we're going to talk about the hockey porn.
Yeah, hockey porn.
Hockey porn.
Hockey porn.
The
Because
hockey
we
smut.
haven't gotten enough hockey news lately in the
porn.
last month. that-
I'd like to talk about the hockey.
all about hockey.
The hockey smut for just a second.
Okay.
Or no, people are going to be very upset that I'm calling it a hockey smut. The love story. Okay? Listen, here's the situation. And I actually would like to know, we will cover this in depth at some
We're gonna do an
some
episode
point
on
soon.
it.
But what I would like to know, what I'd like to discuss in depth when we cover this, is whether there has ever been a known case of two players in the same league in a relationship.
I don't think there's a known. No.
There probably is not a known situation. But
But there are brothers, multiple sets of
And
brothers
I
in the
think-
NHL.
Absolutely.
I think that is very, very different. And I'll tell you why I think that. Because
They're not
yes,
sleeping with each other?
They're not sleeping with
Okay.
each other. Yes, that's exactly it. Because we have
The
something
sex
called...
makes all the difference?
No, but hold on a minute. Why do we have something called spousal privilege, but we don't have something called sibling privilege? Because there is a different relationship between someone who is in an intimate relationship versus you and your brother,
The
or
idea
you
that
and your
if you're
sister.
digmatized,
Yes.
that you are powerless.
Oh, you went
Stigmatized,
back
I
to
like
Taylor
that.
Swift for a second.
Oh, I didn't. Is that?
Oh, yes, she uses that in one of her new songs.
Yeah, but that's
we
what-
use-
that-
we've
but
been
that
using
phrase
for
has been around forever.
Okay,
Yeah.
she got that from watching me. Okay,
Yeah, that word's been around forever.
She referred to Travis Kelce.
Well, but there's also a difference between
who, by the way, played in the same league as his brother.
right.
However,
different teams.
different teams, but that's exactly what I'm saying.
But
I'd
if they're
like
playing
to
against
know.
each other, like there was no presumption that they're going to go easy on each other because it's my brother on the other
Negatory.
team. Right.
In fact, they probably kicked each other's ass
Right.
more.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. The brothers probably kicked each other's ass more.
Mm-hmm.
Are the people who are in an intimate relationship, are they going to be inclined to kick each other's ass more? Or are
They're
they
gonna
going to
take it
have
easy.
Or are they going to have their playbook open in front of them when they're going to bed at night?
And are they also going to be inclined to maybe like not go as hard because it's like the person that you love and care about? But
Okay,
like,
well, you just reminded me of a scene from the movie Dodgeball.
okay.
Love that movie.
Where
Right?
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a
If
ball.
you can dodge traffic, you
can
can dodge a
dodge a
ball.
Oh God, I love
Yeah.
that movie. So
Great
you've
movie.
got the little skinny goofy guy
Yeah.
with the exotic, I'm not just gonna say exotic looking woman on the other side, and they're all lovey dovey making eyes,
And they don't-
wham gets hit in the head with
Right,
a
the one
dodgeball.
with the one with the unibrow.
Unibrow. And so like that's also what we discussed with Primal Fear in that they didn't disclose that Richard Gere and Laura
had a
Linney had a
relationship.
previous relationship.
Yeah.
And even though that relationship was over, there's a presumption of, are they going to have the same effective counsel? Like if the person directly against you is someone that you were romantically linked to up until very recently. Right.
All right, so I think our conclusion...
Josh just looked this up for us. There are in fact several couples who play in the same leagues.
Okay.
It's all women's leagues.
It's women's
Except
hockey, WNBA, women's soccer, and tennis. There's a notable heterosexual couple, both ranked highly, but they don't play each other directly.
Because
Right, because
But in women's hockey, women's soccer, and the WNBA, like
There
there
are
are couples who play.
But so for
against
women's
each-
hockey, they play together for the same team. So I'd like to look. We're not.
But see, they all play
well-versed enough.
together. These are people who play together.
No,
Oh, wait,
the
until
WNBA they got transferred.
one of them got traded.
So one of them got traded. Yeah, that's the proper word. Traded, not transferred.
Whatever, it's the same thing.
So I guess my question is, if there's a situation, let's assume you got to go to HR and you got to say,
Right, 'cause
I'm in a relationship
workplace,
with
you
my
have to
rival.
say that, right.
Right now, in heated rivalry, in K-pop Demon Hunters, ain't nobody going to HR.
Right.
And again, in heated rivalry, we see that Shane actually does not give up the goals, right? He basically says, I'll see you in my room later tonight, but I ain't letting you win, right? But what if he does? Like, what if he feels bad for him? What if he does? And we're going to get into heated rivalry quite a bit, but there is a scene in heated rivalry where Shane gets badly hurt and Ilya, stops playing. Ilya's, he's terrified that he's so badly hurt. What's happening, right? Like, you got to go play for your team.
Well, and that's the same thing here. Like, if, when feelings start to build between Gino and Rumi, like, who's to say that they're going to fight each other as fervently as they otherwise would?
Right.
And plus, like you said, like, there's a trade secrets. Like, they're giving each other access to other,
They are.
knowingly or unknowingly, they're giving each other access to information that weakens their own position,
they
own
are
side.
plotting together. They are conspiring for Huntrix to win so that they can strengthen the Hun Moon.
Yes.
And her idea is that Ginu is there in her world, outside the demon world, when it gets shut away forever, because she wants to have him be with her. And so, yeah, you can argue that that's contrary to the mission statement of Huntrix, and she's not sharing that with Zoe and Mira. So, she's betraying her own friends for her own libido.
I mean,
basically.
yeah, and they could have claims against her for that.
And I might add, they don't actually end up happily ever after at the end of this
Well, I know.
movie.
It
Which
was never meant to
quite
be, though.
Upsetting. I'm with you, Jenny. Very
I
upsetting.
remember watching this from start to finish for the first time with my daughter, and I turned to her and I said, "You didn't tell me he disappears." And she said, "What do you mean? He sacrifices himself?" And I said, "No, ma'am.
Beautiful.
No." I said, No. That's not how this goes.
Oh, it's like Titanic all over again.
Oh,
I know.
I'll never
real.
let go.
And then she let go.
And then she
She
just
let
let
go.
right go. We were traumatized enough.
I know.
And,
97 was a hard year for us.
I was waiting for him. I was waiting for Gino to get his soul back and for
I
things
know.
to be happy.
no. Oh, who knows? Maybe in the sequel. But
It was a happy ending.
I guess
to an
he
extent.
just wanted to be
but
free
not-
from that. He just wanted
Yes, he
Yes.
did. He wanted to be free from that, and I think the point of the movie wasn't the romantic relationship between
No.
the two of them. It was
Right.
it was the bond between the three
Huntrix.
the
girls.
three
Yes.
girls.
It's kind of like in Frozen. Like it
Yes.
wasn't about the
Yes.
love between a man.
no,
and
it was
a
about
woman.
the
It was
sisters.
about the
Yeah.
sisters.
Yes,
love.
yes.
Question. So, we talk about fairly flippantly, the fact that the Huntrix girls are killing these demons, but would they be seen as persons under the law? Because number one, they were once human, had, and had souls and whatnot. Now they are in human form when they are brought to Earth to do all this. And so they're getting, would that constitute homicide? Being
don't think so.
killed or really?
No, because I think I'd liken it to The Walking Dead or something. No, because once they've turned demon, they're no
the
longer
Walking Dead
human.
is no longer they're no longer in human form, talking to you like a normal human. They are zombies.
But
Yeah,
the
but
human,
just because they can masquerade as humans
Right.
doesn't mean they're humans
the
and
human
they're going to
form
get
is
the same
a
protections.
costume.
Yeah.
right?
It would be hard to prove.
Like if you're wearing a dog
I agree with
costume
you,
on
but by the
Halloween,
same token,
I'm
when
not
they-
taking you for a walk. You know
when
what
they
I mean?
kill them,
Right.
poof, they're gone.
it's kind of like in Death Becomes Her.
But you know what?
Yeah.
In Charmed, when they did that and they fought and they killed people, when they got accidentally caught, even Buffy accidentally caught by someone or somebody saw something
Who didn't understand.
there were times when they got put in the hot seat
Yeah.
and they got charged with murder
Yeah.
because
It's so many risks you run when you're like doing
Saving
shit,
the
vigilante
world.
shit.
This
which
is
is
why I
Taylor Swift
wouldn't do
song.
it. It's just why I wouldn't do it.
that's why.
Yeah. I honestly,
just
there's
saying.
so many reasons I would say no to this. Like Celine would be like, really? I'd be
Oh my
like,
God, am I
I'm
the
out.
only one that thinks this is the coolest
Oh
thing
my God, I'd be
ever?
out
I
so
would-
quickly.
I
I would
would
be like,
be
I can't
so
believe
in.
you're asking me this.
I
I'd
would
be
be so
insulted.
in.
I'd be
Oh my
insulted that
Lord.
she's even suggesting I do this.
Oh my gosh, I would love it.
No.
Guys.
I don't think so.
Okay, so in terms of within the movie, I think that pretty much.
I think we've covered it.
I mean, I'm proud of you guys. This is a lot better
We
than
did
I
not
thought it
think
was.
we'd have
I
any
didn't
legal
think we
issues
were
to talk
gonna-
about.
No.
No. I disagree. I think there were a ton of things. There were so many things. And you know what?
Speculative, though.
You know what? This is a
This was
great
fun.
film.
This was fun.
I have to say, I thank you for making me watch this. The rest of the people in my house do not because I've been binge watching
Oh.
it non.
Today when you come home.
I've seen this movie no less than 25 times.
No
Seriously.
It is on so often. Oh, I had to play like
I'm not that bad yet because I'm behind you guys. So at the moment, I think
My
I've
daughter's
watched
obsessed.
it. I've watched it about 8 times so far.
I think you need
And
to
I've
come
now
home.
switched to the sing-along version.
Oh,
by the way.
yeah.
so
Yeah,
good.
You need to come home tonight and you need to walk in and you need to say, "We're going up, up, up." It's our
Listen,
moment.
You have no idea, Jenny. I walk in and I do that
You know, together we're
constantly.
glowing. Gonna be
It's
glowing.
honestly the greatest thing. It is taken over our lives.
Yeah.
My daughter's obsessed.
There's
Her
a-
friends are obsessed. She has some of her best friends are Korean girls who have taught her
Don't you
the
feel
words, like the
Oh,
Korean
what
words.
they're
and so
saying?
when
Oh,
we're in the
I need
car,
to know.
she can sing the Korean parts.
I
like,
need to know.
perfectly.
They're coming out with a documentary on how they actually made
Oh,
the movie and
okay.
wrote the songs. And the
Wow,
process.
really?
Yes,
I
that's
will be
coming to
watching.
Netflix. I think
it's kind of an amazing story of like this becoming a phenomenon. Like, and I was telling you guys before we started that like there was this whole thing where like when Netflix, went to different merchandisers and like Mattel and whatnot. No one was interested. Everyone passed. No one wanted to merchandise this movie because it wasn't based on known IP.
To quote Julia Roberts, big
mistake.
mistake.
Huge. And so then the movie comes out in the middle of the year, like around the summer.
Yeah, it was in the
and
summer.
It takes 18 months from acquiring the rights to having a toy on
An
the
actual
shelf.
produce.
And
right,
so the
okay.
Christmas season comes, and it's like this movie became so huge, and everyone starts scrambling. Everyone's like, "We need the rights to this. We need to start manufacturing."
Yeah.
and no one was able to get anything on the shelves by Christmas. And even though they like literally rushed the process, like there was an interview with like someone from Mattel, like an executive, like everyone just was blindsided by how popular this became. And so I kind of love that.
they had the costumes ready to go for Halloween. There were 5 million Rumis in school.
Were there?
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That also brings up a lot. There are a lot of legal issues with like whether it's like fake, like like it's just like unauthorized merchandise.
I mean, I'm
basically.
Oh, I'm
Sure
sure
it
there
is.
was a
Right.
ton.
Right.
I was going to say Etsy must have blown up. There must have been a
Oh my
ton of
God.
little private
Yeah,
shops that were able to
absolutely.
get in where Mattel couldn't.
Right.
You know,
for sure.
you know.
Well,
So who's? I need to know who are you most akin to? Who's your favorite?
I think I'm Zoe.
Okay,
I think I have that annoying vibe about me.
I'm feeling Mira.
I actually, so I
You're
think
Mira.
I think I feel Mira a lot. I mean, Emmy's
I can see
Zoe,
that.
and my daughter's Zoe.
Yeah.
She says it all the time.
I think I'm a Zoe. I think I can get a little
Interesting. None of us are Rumi.
high pitched and annoying.
None of us have those patterns.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Thank you guys so much.
How many?
Oh, yes, we have
how
to
many soda pops
rate.
do you give this one?
Soda pops.
Oh, soda pops.
Legally speaking, 0.
We're
Negative
really going
3.
0.
I mean, it's a lawless movie.
It's absolutely a lawless
Negative
movie.
3. Okay.
Negative 3. How many soda pops in terms of cinematic masterpiece?
entertainment-
Oh, I'm sorry.
Through the
Entertainment
roof.
value. It's a 12.
I
Like,
know,
boom.
100. That's great. No notes.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you guys so much for all of your insights. Josh, thank you as well.
Let us know what you think about us doing a current movie. I don't know. We got to
If you
see.
could give us the name of a current movie, then we
something that we could do. I don't
Inform
know.
us.
I don't know.
And in the meantime, please follow, like, and subscribe on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube at Let's Ruin It Podcast.
yeah, we'll see you next time.
Send us your suggestions.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.